If the machine operator gets in the way of a defender, that's interference. Michelle whispered nicely in my ear as we were making a transition. We don't have time to cover that today. It's a little bit different animal than an obstruction, but the rules are basically the same. The umpire has a judgment call to make if there's interference that takes place by the base runner hindering or impeding a defensive fielder. If a thrown ball, 19 is what I'm looking at, if a thrown ball strikes the machine or the operator, the ball is dead, play is stopped, and runners go to the base that they deemed to have earned, and that's an umpire's call. The coach doesn't make that call. You make that call.
So, yeah, go ahead. Between first and second and third, there's going to be a hash mark about halfway, should be as close to halfway between the bases as possible. Your best rule of thumb as to where they should be is if they are not to that hash and they aren't being forced to move, then they go back to the base where they started. If they are past the hash mark, then award them the next base up here. And if that forces somebody who wasn't past the hash over here to move, that forces them to move. But this person pushed this person over because they were past half. Even though this person was only here because they were standing, trying to figure out what was going on, they were past, they push here to force this person over here. If they're both past half, then you allow it to go on. If this person was past half, he gets here and that person's still over there, they go back over there. It's where they're at.
Sorry?
So if they're past halfway and they're forcing this person, they automatically hit the base, like the ball's dead and they can't get out? Or can they still get out moving to that base?
So the runner...
So
go ahead.
We had something in play, and say I started over here at first, ball got hit to the outfield, I run, I touch second, and I'm right here. Throw comes back in, hits the machine, the bucket, or the operator. If I'm right here, the batter runner hit, and they're past half, they get that base here. That pushes me to the next base. But because it hit the bucket, the machine, or the operator, that is immediate dead ball. Throw your hands up. Kill it.
You guys be loud at that age because everybody's screaming and yelling. So as soon as it happens, as soon as it hits the machine, dead ball! Hands are up, you're ready to go.
Yep. Kill it. Kill it.
So in first and second grade ball, and I'm looking at Rule 21, age specific, what do you do when the pitcher gets possession of the ball inside the circle? We're moving the mound. This is the circle. You call time, and what are you doing in addition to calling time?
Finish that one play on that certain base.
Okay. So if
batted ball from home plate to first base, and if the fielder went to the circle, they stay on first.
Base runner hadn't made it to first.
If the base runner hadn't made it to first, that's true. So in a situation like that, kids will throw the ball where you don't expect them to. Did you hear me? Kids will throw the ball where you don't expect them to. How do you avoid getting hit as an umpire? Michelle said this twice already. Keep your eyes on the ball. Keep your chest square. And watch it because the ball is going to take you to the play. They will turn and wheel and throw to bases that they really shouldn't because they're learning. They don't know what they're doing. Once the ball is in the possession of the defensive pitcher inside the circle, time is called. What's the next thing you ought to try to develop into a routine as an umpire? Notice where the runners are. And you may have to have a head on a swivel to do that because you may have three. Okay? If this runner is here and I call time, where do I instruct that runner as an umpire to go back to for the next pitch? First base. That's right. If I'm here, and we've already covered this runner could actually force a runner ahead of him or her to third base as a result of being more than halfway. Make sense?
This is one of those times, though, that the home plate umpire can definitely help. Because if you're the field umpire and you're back because you want to stay behind your runners and everything, you may not see where each base runner was when it happened. This is where your home plate umpire can help because they got the entire field in their view. Work with your partner if you're not sure where one of the runners was to help get them to the right spot.
Is that a question? Okay. But let's keep moving here. It's almost 10. I'm going to run long. Sorry. In the event you need to leave, I understand you leaving. In the event you're able to stay, probably going to be about 10 minutes to get through the third and fourth and some of the general rules. Okay? If you need to leave, sorry about running late. We just got action-packed.
There's a lot of stuff.
Agenda. Yep. And I want to spend time because I recognize the number of new umpires. This is going to be the age group you start with. You need to know these rules inside and out. You need to know them better than the coaches. Chuck has a funny story to tell. 2/3 of the way through the season, a coach told him, finally read the rule book. You could tell if you stood by and watched what he was doing.
I had that last year. I heard him from behind the dugout. He said, based on what happened at El Dorado yesterday, I went through and finally read the rule book. I'm like, dude, we are more than halfway through the season. You haven't read the rule book for your ages yet? I didn't say that to him, but that's what went through my head.
I get it.
It happens. That's why we have to be the authority out there.
Some days Ron doesn't show up with very much of a filter. If you want to ask Michelle, she's got better stories. Okay? So, first and second grade ball, we'll show you how to operate the machine. We're not going to tear up the floor in here, and you got to anchor them so we don't have a machine here. We'll show you that, and that's part of the reason that I want you there at least by 10, where we've got time to show everybody how to run a machine and also walk through some logistics that are going to be in operation for that day. There's going to be a machine and there's going to be a bucket. Behind home plate, there's going to be an empty bucket when we start the inning. Why is that? What are we trying to do? Speed the game up. Get more play in. Kids showed up to play ball. So we're going to take a ball out of the bucket. We're going to load the machine. We're going to cock the machine. We're going to put the ball ideally in the same position every time. Different coaches like to do that differently. If they're moving the ball around, the ball isn't going to come off that machine the same way. I can guarantee you. We've experimented enough over the last 140 years to know that's true. If they put the ball on the machine the same way, I like to use a seam because it typically grabs better than a leather part of the ball. But they can do whatever they want to, and we don't want to necessarily interfere. You have the right as an umpire to adjust the machine. Try to test the machine before the game starts. That may be you and your partner taking 2 or 3 softballs, baseballs, and working through that. But get it aligned where it's throwing over the middle of the plate at an average height. We're going to have kids that are this tall. We're going to have kids that are this tall. They don't have the same strike zone. But those buckets are used to speed up the game. And in the event you run out of balls in the bucket out here on the mound, simply trade that. Try to make sure you start with a full bucket out here where we can play as much ball as we can. Make sense?
And just get used to every half inning, dumping the balls from behind out into the one by the machine.
Either team, I'm now on Rule 25, either team may use a 10th player. We're trying to provide as many opportunities for as many players as we can. That 10th player has to be in the outfield. They cannot position that 10th player as a sub-shortstop that is standing up right beside the pitcher. They have to be in the outfield. In Valley Center, that means they're going to be in the grass. There will also be a defensive coach that is allowed on the field for this age only. Where do they have to be? Outfield, in the grass, in the grass. We're going to use the infield lines because our fields are pretty well sized, dimensioned well. Other places that's not true and you may see chalk. Overthrows, a rule that is misunderstood and misapplied. You'll hear it because it'll probably come up in a coach's meeting. In the event there is a grounder to the second baseman, Second baseman makes the play, but throws the ball over the fence behind first base. What's your call? Dead ball. Where does the batter runner end up? Second base. Everybody understand? Ground ball, same scenario, nobody else on base. Ground ball, and there's an overthrow that is wide of first base but stays inside the fence, still in live ball territory. How far can the batter runner run? One base to second. First overthrow sets that stage. That first overthrow is going to stop that runner at second based on the way this rule reads. Everybody understand?
So if the right fielder picks up the ball and tries to throw to second and the ball goes way over there, can they run another base? No. The initial overthrow is the only one that is allowed to happen for the base runner to get an extra base. They can throw the ball wherever they want to after that. They stop. So at that point in time, if you see it, kill it. Kill it. Don't let them keep running.
When he says kill it, what are you doing?
Right.
Time! 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 And you may have to do that because that kid thinks he's got a home run on a grounder to second base.
So do the parents, the grandparents, and the coaches. What we don't want is what we call a merry-go-round going on out there. We don't want them just running like this. Again, that's when bad things happen if we're letting them do stuff when play is now technically dead. Okay? Kill it. Stop it.
And here's, I'm going to read this, and I don't want to do this on every one of them. After the first overthrow by the defensive team, the base runners are allowed to advance a maximum of one base at their own risk. So in the event that first and second grade team makes a incredible defensive play, they overthrow first baseman throws it to the second baseman tags the runner out, holds onto the ball. That is right. That runner is out. They're advancing at their own risk. They're not guaranteed that base based on the overthrow. Does that make sense? Questions on that?
All right. Sticking with the overthrow, though, because this will definitely happen because coaches don't know. Runner on first, ball hit to the third base person. They try to throw to second, and that ball goes all the way into the outfield. Is that an overthrow or not an overthrow? Overthrow or not an overthrow? It's an overthrow. First, second grade, that is an overthrow. We're going to let them go to one base and stop it from there. Most coaches don't understand that the overthrow is to anywhere. Doesn't just have to be to first base. Most of them get it stuck in their head that the overthrow is at first, sometimes third, but mostly over there. I don't care where the overthrow is. Any base, that ball goes way past them, that is an overthrow. Let them take their next base and stop it.
Majority of the overthrows are going to occur them trying to get it back to the center. I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah.
That will come up.
It's still an overthrow.
What she's saying is trying to get it back to, it gets over to first base, stays in fair play, and they're trying to throw it back to the pitcher here to stop everything, and the ball goes way over there. That is still an overthrow. We're not going to let kids keep running and running and running. If they're trying to get it back to a specific spot or person, and that ball goes way beyond them, that is an overthrow. Now, let's be realistic. If they're trying to get it here and the ball stops right here, that's not an overthrow. Right? We all understand the concept of an overthrow. It's got to go a good distance past. If it's 2 foot from them, a step or so from them, that's not an overthrow. Okay?
That rule is in place because we want to teach the defensive players to begin to make the right play. Does every coach that way? No, they don't. Some will say on a grounder to short, throw the ball to the pitcher in the circle. I believe that's crappy coaching, but I'm not going to go there today. If they do that, though, you're going to have to be on your toes because that's going to put you in a situation of making that hash mark determination a whole lot more than if they try to make the right defensive play. Because if they overthrow it, it's really easy. They get one more base and we're done. That makes sense?